that energy up so that we feel strength and balance through whatever we're going through during this holiday season. So let's go ahead and sit back on the mats, bringing hands into Jnana Mudra with your thumb and index finger touching back of the wrist to the knees. Okay. Hi, George. Hey, buddy. Yep. Yep. Okay. I know. Yes, go butt scratches. Okay, so again, shoes off on the mat. We're bringing hands into Jnana Mudra, thumb and index finger touching, back of the wrist to the knees. And closing our eyes and starting to connect inward. And taking just a few breaths here in easy pose to notice what you notice and keeping it that simple. You know, and try to, it's a human tendency to want to try to change or fix, distract, push away. And for just a few long, deep breaths, we're going to take some time to allow ourselves to simply notice. Notice if you're feeling tightness or tension anywhere within your physical body. Notice what emotions might be present for you. Maybe even putting words to those emotions, just as a way of honoring them. Come here, Tony. Come on. Something as simple as I am feeling restless. I am feeling numb. I am feeling at peace. I am feeling excited. Okay, I'm gonna go grab this little dog. Come here. Come here, Tony. I see. Oh, you just need some lovins, don't you? Yeah, you do. Okay. And let's, as you're connecting, begin to elongate up through the spine, pulling shoulder blades away from the ears, inhaling through the nose, all the way down to that navel center. And as we're practicing this prana, this breath, we're also going to practice our drishti, our eye focus. And we do this by closing our eyes, and we're going to focus right up at the third eye. It's that spot between the brows, just above the brow line, pulling up on that optic nerve, starting to activate, connect to that pituitary gland. And again, focusing here, that third eye, our physical and mental gaze is focused at this spot that's associated with our internal voice, our wisdom. And we're inhaling through the nose all the way down to that navel center. Feeling that breath expand upward into the lungs and the chest and the shoulders. And exhale, release. One more time, inhale. And exhale, go ahead and release your hands. Let's wiggle the fingers, circling the wrists, taking out the arms, all the way to the shoulders, into the torso and the hips, all the way down into the legs. Just taking it all out. Okay, very nice. And let's take a moment here to just begin flexing and pointing the feet. Oh, this is always a fun angle. I'm videotaping. So we're flexing and pointing the feet. Again, pulling shoulder blades away from the ears. Let's go ahead and set our hands down by our sides, almost pressing into the mat, so we're elongating up through the top of the head, continuing to flex and point the feet. Inhaling, flexing those feet up so the toes point back towards the forehead. Exhale, point them forward. Again, closing the eyes, going back to that drishti, that mental gaze, that eye focus, focusing up at the third eye, shoulders pulled away from the ears. We're elongating up through the spine, inhaling the feet up, exhale, pointing them forward. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale up. And on this next exhale, begin drawing circles with the toes, just going in one direction and then the other. Very nice. Okay. And coming back into our easy pose, we're going to open our practice chanting Om, bringing hands to prayer mudra, shoulders pulled away from the ears. Our thumbs are connecting to that heart, connecting, plugging into that heart center. Eyes are closed, focusing up at the third eye. When we open our practice chanting Om, we'll chant that 3 times together. Inhale and exhale, and inhale to chant. Keeping hands together, raise arms up overhead. Imagine that space between your arms filling with a beautiful light, and as you exhale, release your hands and imagine you're drawing that light around you. Okay. Almost like a protective sphere to guide you through your practice. And you can do that at any time during the day. If you're feeling disconnected, feeling like your energy is being pulled all over the place, a very simple way to reconnect, bringing hands to the heart. Okay, and it doesn't even have to be in prayer mudra. You can place one hand over the heart, the other hand over that one, just connecting to that heart center, remembering who you are, where you are, and then bringing your hands up and draw that light around you. Choosing to be protected, right? Reconnecting. Let's bring hands back to the knees. We're going to start our Sufi grinds. Inhaling forward, exhaling, rounding back. Continuing to elongate up through the spine. Remember, the chin is up, face is forward, and we're drawing circles with the torso around the hips in one direction right now. Eyes are closed, and we're focusing up at that third eye. And we practice with our eyes closed, as a way of coming back inward throughout the day, every day throughout the days, especially during this time. We have plenty of opportunities to be distracted, to give our energy away, right? And during this practice, we're choosing to consciously go inward, consciously connect. And we do that by closing our eyes, focusing up at that third eye. Okay, practicing that mental gaze. Okay, one more time in this direction. Inhale to center. And exhale, release. Excuse me. Continue that same movement in the opposite direction. So we'll be doing a lot of work here on the ground at first, and then bringing that energy up into some warrior poses. But right now we're just connecting to the earth, connecting through that tailbone. Okay, one more time in this direction. Inhale to center. Pull that breath up your spine. Exhale, release. Okay, and let's go ahead and come into a wide-legged stretch. So we're stretching, widening our legs as much as you're comfortable. Remember, those toes are flexed, so the toes are pointing up to the ceiling. And let's come back to that flexing and pointing. So inhaling, we're flexing the feet so the toes point back towards the forehead. Exhale, pointing them forward. And continue that movement. Hands can be either resting on top of the legs, or you can bring them in the center here. One more time, inhaling the feet up. Exhale, release. Let's bring we're gonna keep right here. So we're gonna reach this right arm up, really hugging that right ear, and then coming over to the left side. And if you come all the way down to your toes, that's great. We just want to make sure that we're getting a nice stretch in that right side body. And then coming back up to center, release that right arm and bringing the left arm up, hugging that left ear and stretching over to that right side. Inhaling up, releasing that left arm. Do that another time, stretching up through those right fingertips and over to the left side. Make sure that we're keeping the feet flexed. Inhaling up. Exhale, release that right arm, bringing the left arm up and over to the right side. And we're going to do that one more time But with this next time, we're gonna practice breath of fire. Now, some of you guys have practiced breath of fire with me, so you're familiar with that. If this is new for you, this is a rapid exhale through the nose. This is a cleansing, a clearing breath. It activates that nervous system, brings balance to the whole body. It also gets the lungs, the heart moving, which is so important, right, during this time that we really activate that heart. We're staying connected. So we do this breath by powering up through this, the third chakra, and powering that breath up through the nose. It's a powerful exhale. The mouth is closed and we're not focusing on the inhale. I like to say it's like blowing boogers out. So we'll inhale that right arm up and then exhale, stretching over to this left side and begin breath of fire. We're not going to be doing this for very long, so hop on into it and give it a whirl. And inhale, exhale, releasing back up to center. We'll do that same thing on the opposite side, reaching up through that left arm, up through those left fingertips, over to the right side, and breath of fire. Inhale and exhale, release. Okay, let's roll those shoulder blades away from the ears and continue that movement. Inhaling the shoulders up, exhale, rolling them down the spine. All right, very nice. One more time. Let's do some neck rolls. Inhaling left ear over to the left shoulder. Exhale, rolling chin down to the chest, bringing right ear over to the right shoulder. And continue that movement just for a few times in one direction. Making sure to pause if you feel like, oh, I feel a little tight there. You want to just breathe into part of your neck. You can even give yourself a little massage. And remember to say thank you. Thank you, neck, for all you do. Holding up my head, protecting my voice. Protecting my immune system with those lymph nodes. As always, want to give yourself a little bit of love. Right? Even if you don't quite feel it, imagine that it's there. Just sending some love to the neck. Let's go one more time in that direction and then inhale very gently to the other direction. Nice gentle neck rolls. It's so simple, but it really provides so much healing. Old traumas are lodged in the throat. So anytime you're doing neck rolls, you're starting to release, starting to heal some of those traumas. Okay, one more time. And let's go ahead and shake out the legs. And give yourself a nice little massage. The back of the knees, around the hips. Okay, and we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and start our spine flexes. So again, soles of the feet are together, resting on the floor in front of you, and you're holding on to either your toes, ankles, shins, whatever feels comfortable for you. Pulling shoulder blades away from the ears. Inhaling the heart forward, exhaling, rounding back on that tailbone, and continue that movement going at your own pace. Eyes are closed. We're focusing up at that third eye. Inhaling forward, exhaling, rounding back on that tailbone. One more time. Let's inhale up to center. Pull that breath all the way up your spine, all the way up through the top of the head. And exhale, release. Very nice. Okay, we're going to come on up into tabletop. And we're starting into our cat-cow. So cat-cow is such a great movement to do around these times. It gets that spinal fluid moving, and starts to like activate that central nervous system. And you know, a flexible spine is a flexible mind, and it's important to really be able to practice that mental flexibility around these times. So we're bringing our hands under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, toes are either tucked under the feet or flat on the mat. We're inhaling the tailbone up towards the ceiling, dropping it back, lifting the chin. Exhale, rounding the tailbone towards the belly button, arching the back, bringing chin to chest. And continue that movement. We're leading this movement with the tailbone. That way we're hitting every part of the spine, including that lumbar section that tends to get a little bit neglected at times. Just a few more times. Inhaling up into cow, exhale, rounding tailbone into cat. One more time. Let's inhale the tailbone up, dropping the back, lifting the chin. Exhale, rounding tailbone towards the belly button, arching the back, bringing chin to chest. Inhale into this neutral tabletop. And from here, we're actually going to bend our elbows and bringing the top of the head to the mat. And we're coming down into rabbit pose, but while here, so it's similar to balasana or child's pose, but the top of the head is on the mat and we're maintaining that tabletop, how we do at the beginning of cat-cow. And then we'll reach behind us and place our hands on our heels. So again, we're coming into that tabletop, placing the top of the head on the mat, keeping that tabletop, keeping our spine flat, and then reaching back and holding on to ankles or heels. We'll be here for just a few breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhale, release. And now, from rapid, let's go ahead and release our hands. And we're actually going to bring our hands into a Venus lock right at the top of our head, keeping our head on the mat. So our elbows and our forearms are resting on the mat. Our forehead is sticking on the mat. And from here, we're going to tuck our toes, keeping our head on the mat and pushing the hips up into porpoise. Inhale and exhale back down. Let's go ahead and flatten out the feet, sitting back into child's pose. And then moving forward once more, clasping the hands again, moving our head towards our hands, once more placing the top of our head on the mat. And again, we've got this foundation supporting us in our forearms. We're tucking the toes and lifting the hips. You can even walk your feet back towards your head. And then we're going to drop the knees once more. Releasing the hands back into child's pose and back into baby pose. Okay, so laying our hands, our arms down by the sides of our mat, reaching for our toes. And we'll do that one more time, bringing hands up to the top of the mat, coming back into that Venus lock, moving our head forward, planting our elbows, our forearms, so we got our foundation here. And then tucking the toes and pushing the hips up. Inhale and exhale. We're going to drop and then bringing our hands to the mat right beneath our shoulders. We're going to press up back into tabletop. And then we're going to bring this left foot forward so that left knee is right over the left hip, or excuse me, the left knee is right over the left ankle. And then we're going to tuck this back right foot and bring that right knee up off the ground into this low lunge. And when you're ready, we'll bring hands to the knees into warrior. Very nice. So we got that right heel reaching up towards the ceiling, that left knee over the left heel. And from here, we're going to clasp our hands behind our backs and bringing our forehead down to that left knee. into a humble warrior. Inhale and exhale. Release the hands back into that low lunge, dropping the right knee, bringing the left knee to meet the right, back into tabletop. And I'm worried my phone just stopped. Oh, it didn't. Okay. We'll do that one more time. So we're in tabletop. We're going to bring this right knee forward. So now the right knee's over that right ankle. And from here, we're going to tuck that left foot, bringing that left knee up. So we're into this low lunge. And once you feel ready here, feel like you have a nice foundation, we're going to bring our hands to our right knee into warrior. And from here, when you feel ready, when you feel balanced, we're going to clasp our hands behind our back into that Venus lock and bringing the right knee, the forehead down to the right knee into humble warrior. Woo! Inhale and exhale. Release back into lunge, dropping that left knee, bringing the right knee to meet the left. And come laying down on your back for just a very short Shavasana. Allowing your feet to fall open to the sides, turning palms over so that they're facing up to the ceiling. And we're going to take just a few breaths here in Shavasana. And on this next inhale, begin to wiggle fingers and toes, circling ankles and wrists, and stretching that left leg up to 90, wrapping hands around the back of that left leg, and draw circles with your toes. And then gently laying this left leg to the right side of your mat, keeping your left shoulder on the mat, coming into this cat pose. Nice little spine twist. And then inhaling that left leg back up to 90. Exhale, laying it down. Let's do the same thing on that opposite side, bringing the right leg up to 90. Drawing circles with the toes. Inhale. Exhale, laying that right leg down to the left side of the mat, looking over that right shoulder, coming into cat pose. And bringing that right leg up, bringing left to meet the right. Let's go ahead and flex and point the feet. Inhale. Exhale, bringing the knees towards the heart. And we're going to reach through the legs, parting the knees, holding on to either the tops of the feet or that big toe, pulling the legs apart into happy baby. And rocking from left to right. Okay, the knees are bent towards the ground. The feet are flat, so it looks like you could almost be walking on the ceiling. Your head and torso are on the mat. One more time to each side. Inhale to center. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, knees together. Pulling the knees towards the heart, bringing chin to chest. Forehead to the knees, and begin rocking back and forth on the spine. And rolling yourself all the way up and over, back into your easy pose. And we're about to close our practice. I know we have, I think I might be going a little over 30 minutes. So we're gonna bring our hands to heart center. And taking a few seconds here to reconnect to the heart. And really, set an intention for the rest of the day. Asking yourself, maybe, what is my intention for being here for this practice? Who am I committed to being? Being out in the world, being with my peers, my family, the staff that I'm working with at my treatment, at the treatment center. Who am I committed to being for myself in a friendly way? Who am I committed to being? We're going to hold that right here in our heart and close our practice chanting Sat Nam. Inhale and exhale, and inhale to chant Sat Nam. Peace to all, light to all, and love to all of you. And I hope you guys have a beautiful holiday, whether you're staying in or if you have passes. Remember the love and the light that you are. Happy holidays and Sat Nam.